Hey everyone, it's Dr. Whitney, Dr. Mom ND, doing something a little different today. We're gonna try something from home and see how this works. Now, the last time I tried a video from home, it was really windy out. There is no wind today. It is super still here, just north of Madison, Wisconsin, and about a balmy 81 degrees, it said in the vehicle. So, I had planned on being home all day with a sick kid. He actually was no longer sick and was cleared to go back to daycare this afternoon. So I'm still at home. So rather than haul all my goodies into the office, I thought, why not just go ahead and continue to do it from home like I planned to. So I lost my show and tell helper, but I am going to talk about summer colds and swimmer's itch today, mainly because seems relevant with what's going on, that there are still common colds out there. Kids can still get a common cold. Not every sniffle is going to be, you know, the dreaded corona. Even though we know that that can be an often old, I guess, previously recognized cause of a common cold. So, okay, backstory. Friday, Saturday were really long days for my 3.5-year-old. He completely skipped naps when he usually naps 2 to 3 hours. And he was up until past 10:30, which he usually goes to bed around 8:30 or 9 if I'm lucky, because he watched fireworks both nights. So my personal feeling is he's a really healthy kid, eats well, has a really good schedule. I think he just got run down after a few days, and the heat too. We were in the sun all day. I mean, granted we were in the water, but we're still, the sun takes it out of you. So he woke up, let's see, no, he went to bed Sunday night just fine. Everything was fine. And let's see, that was around 9:30, 10 o'clock. And by 11:30, my husband came upstairs and said, you've got to do something. He's too restless. He's crying. He's sniffling. I can't get him to sleep. He won't let me do the nose sucker, which I guess I didn't bring the nose sucker out to share because I haven't done it. So his congestion was in his head and it was kind of draining into his throat. So what I did initially was just some children's chest rub from Lusa. This is one I really like because it's already all together, right? So rather than buying the olive oil, the beeswax, whatever, cypress, pine, and fir are the oils in here. This is really great, and it's made locally here in Wisconsin in Viroqua. If you haven't heard of that area, it's where Organic Valley, the brand, comes from. So it's a really big, natural, co-op-y, healthy area. So I put this on his chest and back, and I started diffusing eucalyptus oil to start, just to help him breathe, and gave him the tiny cold tablets from Highlands, which are homeopathic tablets. So I only had to do this a couple times throughout the night. When he would wake, I'd put the chest rub on him, give him the tablets again, and he made it through the night, but he was super restless and pretty warm. And so I think at some point in the middle of the night, I added in the number 4 salt-ferrum phos, which is the one I knew right off the top of my head for fever. So we started doing that, and in the morning he definitely had a fever. He was hot all over. His fever ranged from 101 to 103 depending on when and where you took it. So my standby thermometer right now has been this one I got on Amazon. I had an old temporal thermometer, but it was acting up. So I tried a new one that was like a gun, and I would just never get accurate readings with that thing. So this one's nice. You can do it, and the tempo, the top is also, I think it's just a little magnet, and it becomes an ear one, so you can check the ear too. So a little more reliable. So he had a fever all throughout yesterday. He was very coughy, very mucusy, very lethargic. So right away, obviously, we did his probiotics. He has little chewable tablets that he takes. These are 5 billion each, so we did 2 of those. We doubled up his dosage of cod liver oil. We have the blue ice orange flavor for him, and he takes it really well out of the syringe. So I don't know if that works for other parents or not. That's what we use. Cod liver oil is fantastic because you're going to get all the benefits of vitamin A and vitamin D that are naturally occurring in the cod liver. We know vitamin A is great for upper respiratory stuff. Vitamin D is great for your immune system. And also, if I hadn't said it a million times, the probiotics are fantastic because 70 to 80% of your immune system is in your gut. So wanted to keep that healthy and strong. I also started right away diffusing 2 oils. These are from Plant Therapy. One is Germ Fighter, one is Immune Aid. Again, I don't care. Use other oils. They're all fine. doTERRA, Plant Therapy, Young Living, Rocky Mountain oils. There's lots of them, right? If you're partial to one, great. The point is, what I was looking for in terms of the combinations of oils, I definitely wanted eucalyptus in there, which they both have. The germ fighter also has lemon, clove bud, cinnamon, and rosemary, which I think this is very akin to if you do Young Living, their thieves. I think that's similar to this. And then the immune aid also has frankincense, which I've since learned is great immune oil as well. More eucalyptus, sweet orange, lemon, rosemary, and tea tree. So we keep these diffusing at all times, whether he's in the living room or the bedroom. And then I got out a couple of other tried and trues. I gave him 1 serving of Mama's Bliss organic baby elderberry drops. This also has some prebiotics, zinc, and organic echinacea in it. I found this at Walgreens. Mama's Bliss is great. I also found Zarbee's at Walgreens, surprisingly. No added bad sweeteners in this. So Zarbee's is a good line too. So the elderberry, I gave him the standard dosage, which was for 1 year and up, 5 mils, again in a syringe. He takes these things like a champ. He's been taking the cod liver oil for me since he was 1, so he knows the routine. And then the Zarbee's cough syrup that we were using was the one that's cough syrup plus mucus. So this has dark honey, ivy leaf, all things to help clear mucus. There's also grapefruit seed extract in here. And now again, this is for bigger kids, okay? Because this has honey in it. So you're not supposed to give honey to kids under 1. Zarbee's has a line of baby. Notice this doesn't say Zarbee's baby. There's a line of Zarbee's baby syrups that you can use too. So under 1, get the baby line. Over 1, you can use the regular ones. I have another cough syrup that's for a dry cough, but that's not what he was having. He's still very sniffly, and it's dry congestion. So it's not a runny nose, it's just here, and then it's draining in here, so he's coughing. This one I ended up not using, but I had pulled it out just in case. This was Zarbee's version of, again, see this one says baby on it. So this was the baby one. I was trying to use it up, but then I forgot. So this is cough syrup plus immune. So this has agave, thyme, and elderberry in it. Also English ivy leaf, and then zinc, vitamin D, and C. So that one you could use for baby, that one would be safe. But I ended up just doing, like I said, the regular elderberry and this one. So, and actually I only think I did that, I did it once in the morning for him, and then I did the cough syrup around dinner time. We also have the daytime version of the Highlands baby. Well, again, these are the baby tablets. I'm trying to use them up. It doesn't really matter. It's ages 6 months and up. And it does say if they're over 1, you can use more tablets. The dosage is on the bottle. So these are relief of runny nose, congestion, and sneezing due to colds. This is the daytime version. As I said, I also have a nighttime version. That's what I started using Sunday night. Also continued to give him the number 4 as long as he had a fever throughout the day, as much as I could remember. You can do cell salts every 15 minutes. More of the chest rub throughout the day. And then I got out my Highlands, which I would highly recommend if you are into homeopathy at all, the kids kit. So I believe you can get this through my online dispensary because that's where I got it from. So if you go to my website and you click on the full script, there's like a big page. If you scroll down on the home page, it's there. But what it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 different common homeopathic remedies. And a bumps and bruises stick, which I actually don't have out. It's similar to this, like a stick that you rub on with arnica and stuff in it. Sorry, I'm spilling things now. So the kids kit is great, comes with this handy little booklet, and it goes through each remedy. So it tells you, you know, some of the keynotes about the remedy and things it helps with. So I knew I wanted to use ones that were more geared towards his fever and his restlessness and things like that. So aconite is one that I use, as well as belladonna, which I know everybody freaks out about belladonna being in the teething tabs, and they've since removed that, but I understand homeopathy, and I know that physically, chemically, there's no belladonna actually present, so I know I'm not poisoning my child. It is homeopathy. That is the point. That's why it's controversial, because chemically and physically, there's nothing there. So the kit has those 2, as well as ferrum phos, Hepar sulf, Arnica montana, and chamomilla, which a lot of people who get into natural remedies and homeopathy, y'all are usually pretty familiar with the fact that Arnica is for like any bumps and bruises and pains. Chamomilla can be very good for any kind of calming, restlessness, irritability, especially teething. The other ones have various uses. The ferrum phos is the same as the ferrum phos cell salt, right? So with cell salt, we use the 6x potency. That's what makes it the cell salt. This is a 30x, so it's just a higher potency. So since I was already using the number 4, I didn't use the number 30, but I will share with you the aconite. So this is ailments with anxiety, restlessness, a fever, sudden onset, restlessness, anxiety, hot, dry skin, flushed, which is what he was. He was waking from sleep, not necessarily with the croupy cough, but he was pretty frantic in the sense of he was calling out for mom, he was scared, he was probably having some body aches and pains that's just associated with the everyday common virus. So helpful for fevers, cough, restlessness, guiding symptoms, sudden onset, which is what it was very, very clearly for him, as well as early stages of illness. And then the belladonna I decided on, again, because of fever, sudden onset, hot, dry skin, restless, thrashing about, congestion with some pain, which he's little, so he maybe doesn't really understand pain, but he was definitely congested. Definitely worse from noises and bright light. Belladonna, flushed, restless, thrashes about in bed, tosses self in pain, skin hot, dry, flushed, bright eyes, dilated pupils, sleepy but cannot sleep, then drops to sleep, restless, twitching in sleep, which I definitely noticed yesterday throughout the day as he slept on the couch. They talk about more throbbing pains, also sunstroke with these symptoms. So I thought that was interesting. Like I had said, that he had just spent the previous 3 full days in the sun, exhausted. I try to pump water in them, but who knows? So that's what I did. I gave him the aconitum, the belladonna, I'm going to drop these again, and the ferrum phos pretty regularly. These were 1 tablet each, and this was 2 tablets. I don't know, I mean, you can say every hour, but it definitely made a distinct difference, because as soon as I gave him the first dose in the morning, he went from Mr. Lethargic on the couch to he popped up and was bopping around and said, "Mommy, I all better." And within an hour, he was back on the couch again. So you can definitely tell, and even throughout the day, when I would ask him, "How are you feeling, buddy? Do you feel okay?" And he'd say, "Mommy, I'm sick, get me the tablets." So it's like he made the association right away that those things were helping him feel better. He ate, I don't want to say semi-normally, really, because I picked his foods, things like apples, grapes, dry toast, things that I knew if there was a potential for an upset stomach or nausea or vomiting wouldn't do that, but also foods that, like the fruit has a lot of water. It's like 80% water. So I tried to remind him to drink water throughout the day. He did take a decent nap. He actually did eat a fairly decent dinner. And then bedtime was pretty regular last night, although the fever persisted. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not trying to fool anybody here. I've talked about the fact before that he has had a febrile seizure, and it scared the living crap out of us. And I'm not so scared of that during the day when I'm there and I can monitor the fever, but at night when we're all sleeping, my fear is that I would miss something. So last night before bed, I did give him a dose of children's ibuprofen, the dye-free stuff from Walgreens. I just wanted him to get safely through the night, and I wanted him to get some rest. So it must have done the trick, because the kids slept from about 10 o'clock last night until 9 a.m. this morning, and he is one who is up at the crack of dawn, not the crack of dawn. He is up regularly every day by 7 o'clock. So for him to sleep past that, 2 hours past that was great. And when he got up, he's been all better. I haven't had to give him anything today at all. So kept him home for half a day. He's been fine, acting fine, drinking and eating totally fine. And we talked with daycare, and they were fine and in agreement that it's just a common summer cold. He's just got a sniffly nose. He no longer has a fever. So he's been fever-free all morning. No fever reducing stuff. So it looks like we did the trick. The kid just needed some rest. So that was our edition of summer cold and what we have on hand and what we do. The other fun thing we got to deal with this last week was swimmer's itch, I think. I had taken my kids to Devil's Lake State Park for swimming last Monday, and when we got to where we were going for the 4th on Friday, I was putting on their swim suits and noticed on the younger one, well, he's 21 months now, almost, on his back, he'd had a scab, a scratch of some kind, and it looks like that must be where it got into the skin, because it just spread out from there. So the kid looked like he had a penny-sized bullseye on his back with this massive red, thick, angry rash that spread out from it across the lower half of his back and then dispersed into little dots around that. Since then, he's got a few dots on his legs too. So knowing what I know about swimmer's itch, there's not a whole lot you can do for it, right? There's nothing but really prophylactic type stuff, anti-itch creams and things like that. It pretty much is self-limiting in that the parasite, which is gross, gets into our skin, but then we're not an ideal host, so it doesn't go any farther than that, and it basically just dies out. So he never really seemed that itchy, but being me and knowing about parasites just grossed me out. So I did everything I could right off the bat to try to kill the parasites faster, which I know tea tree oil is fantastic, and I know eucalyptus works really good as a wound healer. So the scab that he had was all pussy and big because it went from like healing to being all nasty with the swimmer's itch, so we think. So every night and morning, and whenever I change his diaper, I would just put on tea tree oil and eucalyptus oil. This is organic eucalyptus oil. Of course, I did that with some salve. I went back and forth, I guess, initially with just doing one or the other, but then I just put them all on. So this was one I found called Green Goo First Aid Salve. Insect bites, scrapes, rashes, chafing cuts, sunburns, poison ivy, all kinds of symptomatic stuff. But it's got organic olive oil, sunflower oil, but then a bunch of soothing things. So this is why I liked this one. Plantain, chickweed, yarrow, sage, calendula, St. John's wort, comfrey leaf, myrrh, vitamin E, beeswax, essential oils of lavender, and rosemary. So this was really nice. I put this on a lot. And the other thing that I dropped and rolled away, it's way over there. Anyways, it was from Max and Madeline. It was called a boo-boo stick, but basically it's the same kind of stuff with salve, but it just had more tea tree oil and other essential oils in it. So in a pinch, that stick was really easy to have on hand to use as we were out and about. But at home, I used the oils and the salve, and then when I needed to, I guess when I wanted to do a little more, I found this De Balm. This is another one from Lusa, and this is their like ninja salve, because I have the other one that's just a booty balm, and then they have this one that's a De Balm. Same kind of stuff: olive oil, evening primrose oil, hemp seed oil, beeswax, avocado oil, but now this one has licorice, which was different, burdock, comfrey, also has chickweed, calendula, plantain, chamomile, neem oil, and essential oils of lavender and chamomile. So again, just really soothing, healthy, healing things. And so let's see, we noticed it on Friday. I didn't have anything other than this at the time in our bag of bug sprays and sunscreens with us. So I put this on Friday. We got home Friday night. I did all of the oils. Put that on again Saturday morning. Did this again throughout the day on Saturday, as well as the boo-boo stick. And then it was noticeably better already on Saturday. Sunday, same thing, and then yesterday it's almost completely cleared up, although like I said, now he's got these few spots on the inside of his left knee that I've been treating the same way, but nothing seems to be overly red or itchy and bothering him. So that was our experience with a couple of common summer maladies, I guess, colds and swimmer's itch. So just wanted to share that today, and hopefully nobody else has to suffer with this stuff this summer. But if you find yourself in need, check out some of those products. They work really great. So let me know if you have questions. Share this if you found it beneficial. Give me a like or a heart. That's the only way I can tell if people are watching and enjoying. Otherwise, telling me how many views were on Facebook, it doesn't do me a lot of good. I don't know who is viewing when. It helps me decide. So I promise, like for the third week now, I keep saying I'm gonna do EMF, but with a sick kid all day yesterday, I did not have time to play with my EMF reader. So hopefully between now and next week, Wednesday, I will have time to get out the reader, whatever you wanna call it, measure a few things, and then test some of the products that I bought that are supposed to minimize EMF or harmonize it, and see what the readings, how the readings are different. And then I'll be able to tell you if some of the stuff that I bought actually works or not. So, all right, well, hopefully everyone is staying healthy and cool, I guess, if you're anywhere in the Midwest right now. It's been very hot. And I will see you all next week. All right, thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you next week. Take care till then.